Well, reigning Premier League champions Liverpool aren't the same team this year versus last year. Looking at last year's stats in its entirety versus this year up until this point, Liverpool had a 68% win percentage with 38 wins total last year compared to a 53% win percentage this season from 24 wins so far. They scored more goals per game last year, and this year they are allowing more goals than last year. Blown leads, 8 was what it was last year compared to the 6 that they have had so far this year. So we can speculate on what hasn't been going right for Liverpool, but Arne Slot himself spoke on what hasn't been going right for his side this season.
Yeah, of course it's damaging, but it's how many times this has been damaging for us. We don't help ourselves at all. It's so many of times this season that we've created much more XG or chances than the amount of goals we score, and usually in the Premier League you see a lot of teams outperforming their XG, but that's definitely not what we are doing throughout the whole season. And then a game still stays tight till the end, and we struggle to keep clean sheets. We haven't had as many clean sheets as you would want if you want to go higher up in the table. And yeah, that's a bad combination for picking up the amount of points we want to pick up.
Well, Geoff, Arne Slot, he seemed flat in the way that he was answering that. This was after the Spurs draw over the weekend, and even one of his own players, Dominic Szoboszlai, said that he himself felt flat during that game, and he said if we continue this performance, we should be happy that we even make it to Conference League next year.
That's a real buzz around the ground. Yeah, they need something. They need a spark, don't they? And they're right. I think flat is the right word, Claudia. And also, they were imperious last season, and right now they're not playing with a confidence. They're not playing with confidence because they're not getting the results. And they've got problems in different parts of the pitch. They've got problems. Salah isn't contributing what he used to, which is an almost impossible task. They've got problems at right back. They've got problems in defence. Szoboszlai is arguably their most consistent and best player. He keeps getting shifted around as well. So, yeah, it's not right there at the moment. The mixture is off. Can they rediscover that, and quickly, is a big question, because there's two fronts. They've got to be in the Champions League. So, first of all, they've got to turn it around against Galatasaray, and secondly, they've got to improve in the league. So, there's work to do. They're clearly not just going to give up and say that's it. They're not going to lie down, but they've got to rediscover something close to what they were last season, and that's not an easy thing to do.
But they're not the team they were last season.
No,
like individually, right? Just you think about it in hindsight, and obviously it's easier to analyze the situation in hindsight because you saw them adding all of these players, then you say, wow, Liverpool are dead-on favorites, right?
Yep.
But it comes to show you that sometimes playing manager mode or, you know,
it's like championship manager, yeah.
Football manager is not like plug and play.
Yeah.
They lost the core of their team. They added a guy who held his previous club hostage for a record amount of money, and they didn't get the center back that they wanted, only for him to go to their rival 6 months later. Florian Wirtz, a smaller, less physical guy in a very physically demanding league. Not that he has the ability, because he does, but you let go of Luis Diaz because he wanted more money, but then you go break the bank twice for two other guys.
Two new fullbacks.
Yeah.
It's a little bit one of which that hasn't worked out.
Yeah, when I watch Liverpool, and you've watched Liverpool, you've covered Liverpool, right? Liverpool don't look like Liverpool for all the reasons you just said. But when you think of the best Liverpool teams, you think of even when they won the title, right? There's a graft about Liverpool. There's a work ethic about Liverpool. They're symbolic of the city, right? It's a working class city. This is a luxury football team. This is a team that plays when they want, they defend when they want. They look very fragile. They don't represent the fan base. And at the weekend, I saw something I've never seen in my lifetime. Liverpool fans booing their teams.
Yeah, I don't think they feel identified in the way that their team plays.
Yeah.
And so much so that that's why a lot of fans want Slot's head. You know, if he's to lose to Galatasaray, that can feel like nail in the coffin. And Liverpool is not a quick trigger type of club.
Not at all.
They
Not
often
at all.
see projects out and give them their time to turn things around. But what you say is spot on.
Nico,
I don't think the fans feel represented by this team.
If they were not to get past Galatasaray, I don't think that's the end for Arne Slot. I think the board would back him to get into the Champions League. Now, if they don't get in the Champions League next season, then I think that's a different question. I don't think that it would be a knee-jerk reaction. Not now.
No, not now. It could maybe be at the end of the season. Well, you lost to Galatasaray, and then you don't get into the Champions League.
It is amazing, though, as you said. You think what the additions they brought to the football club and the transition teams. They do transition teams, cycles of teams. You have to change things, but I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Never forget what Arsene Wenger said to me all those years ago. It is possible to subtract by adding.
Well, you think about all the additions they had, all the subtractions that they had, but two players that they did keep, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Do you think that they are maybe regretting keeping them on? Because as we talked about, we haven't been seeing the same from them.
No, I don't think they're regretting to keep them on, because I think if you told the Liverpool board 1,000 times before, take them back into time, into last year, this time, I think they make the same decision every single time. Let Trent move on, keep Salah, keep Van Dijk. We were talking about that being a win, and I still think it's a win. Is it the board's fault that Salah has regressed? Is it the board's fault that Van Dijk has regressed? I think in the sense that maybe perhaps you should have paired Van Dijk with Mark Guehi at the beginning of the season instead of going again with Konate.
Or somebody.
Or somebody. And Mo Salah's having an off year. Perhaps maybe they would have gotten, if they ran back, if they got into a time machine and had to make a decision again, perhaps they would have gotten rid of Mo Salah. I don't know, but he's a club legend. It's difficult to do.
Do you think this is just a bump for Salah right now, or do you think things are starting to go down?
You look at how they structured the club, right? They gave him the new deal, and then within a couple of months, they pretty much put together a team that isn't now around Mohamed Salah. They put together a team that was a team of the future. And they got all these different pieces that don't fit how Mohamed Salah plays. And they cut off the one supply line, Trent. It was time for him to go. But you now give your star player, your talisman, all this money because he's earned it, right? You said, we're going to back you. You're going to meet your demands. And then you now go get players that don't fit how he plays. There's one person, you can point at the board, but for me, I point at Arne Slot. Arne Slot was behind backing some of these moves, right? And you win the Premier League. And he deserves credit for winning the Premier League. You think, okay, now is my time to put my stamp on this team. But I see gross negligence from Liverpool, right?
Salah is not a role player where you kind of need to adjust the team to help him. Salah's a player that he has so much quality. It doesn't matter who's on the pitch. He has to play lights out. We're not talking about a role. We're talking about one of the best players in the world. And you're telling me he's doing a poor year because he's not compatible with his teammates, bro. Salah needs to be good,
no matter what.
No matter who he's around, and he's been poor for his standards.
But this is the first time. So for all the things, and it goes back to just the nuances. I totally agree with that, right? Mohamed Salah has never felt unloved at Liverpool. Unloved at Liverpool. Whether that's a character flaw of his for not dealing with the at some time every player deals with
a little bit,
but
that.
But
he felt unloved. He felt unloved when Slot was leaving him out.
His reaction, and this was before he even left for AFCON. The writing was on the wall immediately of saying, we've already practically moved past you, right? And that was maybe a month into the Premier League season.
AFCON just kicked the can down the road. The problem went away for 5 weeks. That was all. But taking all that into account, do you expect them to go through? Do you expect them to beat Gala?
I'm not so sure.
No?
I'm not so sure, because I'm not so sure about Liverpool. Any game that they play, I have my doubts. And if I'm Galatasaray right now, I'm looking at Liverpool, I firmly believe that I can get a result that can put me into the next round. This is a different Galatasaray, and if they take anything away from the Juve game where they capitulated away, they use that to strengthen the way that they play. They just can't get caught in a back and forth match. They need a little bit more control, Galatasaray.
Coming into the side, Jamie Carragher said he was 99% sure and confident that Liverpool would get past Galatasaray in this onto the next round. After they lost to Galatasaray, he said, okay, I'll take it down to 98%.
98.
98. Where are you? What's your percentage?
55 Liverpool, 45 Galatasaray.
What do you think?
My viewpoint of Liverpool has drastically changed, right? This isn't just a Tottenham problem. They were shocking against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Shocking. Got played off the park, right? Spurs, absolutely shocking. I think they deserve to lose that match had it not been for Alisson. I'm going to go one step further. Liverpool are there for the taking. Galatasaray will beat them at Anfield. I think they'll get through.
What are you thinking, Geoff?
70-30 Liverpool.
Wow.
I was 80-20 before the first leg.
80 for Liverpool.
Yeah, but
80.
now I'm 55-45.
Interesting. Things changed for me when Galatasaray didn't score enough goals with their home advantage. Now I'm leaning maybe towards Liverpool.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.